Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of SKE48-Encore. This week we will continue with the introduction of K2, and since I don't know too much about it, anyway I will spare my voice and let the others do the talking. I'm Chris, and joining me today as usual are Jeff.
Yeah.
Willy.
Yes.
And Nick.
Hey.
Let's start off with the news, and Nick.
Yeah, so first news, Monday, March 12th, I went to the basketball game that Churi was at. So this is Churi's third time that she opened a basketball game. The team is called the Mikawa Seahorses, which is kind of a funny name, like funny animal to associate with the sports team. But anyway, I was actually at the previous game before this, which was in November, and this time was in March. And the first time I was in Japan yet, but it was still last year, I think around March as well. And every time she opens up the basketball game with like a ceremonial like layup or whatever. So like usually in baseball, that's the thing, right? Where like you have you bring in a celebrity to do the opening pitch.
Yeah.
So here you have someone doing like a free throw at the beginning. So she did the free throw. So the first two times they had her open up with a free throw. The first time she missed it, and they didn't let her do a redo. So she just left as a loser. And the second time, she missed it the first time, like it was close, like it went in and out, and then one of the players on the team, this American guy, he gave her the ball and he's like, try again, and she got it in the second time, so that was really cool. And now this time, she did a kind of layup, so I think it was a reverse layup too, which was really cool. So she passed with the players and then she put it up into the basket. So that was, and she did on the first try, so that was really cool. She doesn't have that much time to practice, but you can see that that she practiced that.
Yeah.
And then, as always, she does like about an hour or so. An hour before the start of the game, she does a 15-minute talk with this guy, and they just talk about her. So it's like a little talk show before.
Oh, okay.
And then after the game, she also says a few words. So this time, the third time, she was. They did a little thing about how she was the official ambassador for the team now. So I don't know what that's even gonna do. And last time she got they gave her like a happy coat that the team made, like custom for her. So she was wearing that again today.
Okay.
And during the game, she sits in the crowd. So we were just stalking her, I guess, during the game, looking at her while the game was going on. So yeah, just fun.
Okay, next is actually, I made a mistake in one of the previous episodes when I mentioned that Honono was the last one of Nanadi who's getting Twitter and Instagram. Actually, I forgot about Aina, who started it also on the 12th, Instagram and Twitter, and Pierce, who got her Instagram on 17th. And well, the funny thing is, there she already got her verified mark or so, and she still hasn't got it on Twitter since years actually. But yeah, now the 7th generation should be complete with Twitter and Instagram. Next, on 13th, we had Passion for You.
Yeah, so the Passion for You results, they're finally out. This is set in stone for the commercial Sanbatsu. And so these members will get a song. Again, the center is a repeat of last time. Ego Yuna won by a fucking landslide. She just, it was let me see if I can count those numbers right. 300,000 votes more, basically, than the other ones. And that's pretty insane, considering how long it takes to do this. Mm-hmm. So to give you guys an idea of how much money goes into these votes. So Ego Yuna won with 979,939 votes. Close to 1 million, basically. And two of the people I know, Churiyoshis, they told me they spent 100,000 yen, so like $1,000 on this game for the event, and they only got like 3,000 votes each. So to get like 1 million votes is like pretty crazy in terms of the money people spend on this event. So anyway, so people really went full out for this event, and they they really wanted people to get in. So I'm just gonna read the rankings. So it was 1 to 15 for the first event. At first I was confused because the 16th member, there was another event afterwards, the wildcard event. I'll get to that
Yeah.
later. But first, I'll just read out the first top 15. So Ego Yuna, Obamina, Yuki, Kamata Natsuki, Nojima Kano, Goto Lala, Sugoi Maya, Komazaki Haruka, Takeuchi Saki, Takeyanagi Akane, Sudakari, Shiai Kotono, Kitagawa Yoha, Matsui Jurina, and Kitano Ruka. So it ended with Ruka there. And Ruka, the difference between Ruka, who was 15th, and Marin, who was 16th, was 1,025 votes. So really, when it got down to it, that was, like
Nothing.
those votes really mattered.
Nothing.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nothing
it was
compared
nothing,
to the
yeah.
300,000
exactly.
yeah.
So it ended with the top 15 for that event, and then they had another event, the wildcard event, which lasted a few days, which functioned different way. Like, so it was a different voting system, and I didn't really play it, but like you battled other people or whatever. And Marin won that. So she finished 16th. She got in as a 16th member, but the point difference here was actually really, really close too. And again, it wasn't close. It was only basically between two members, Marin and Ota Ayaka, so Aya Melody. And the difference here was 100,000 votes, basically, of difference. And that's really nothing, because this time the winner, Marin, had 7.9 million votes.
Okay.
And Ota Ayaka had 7.8 million. So that 100,000 is nothing, So that was even closer. Right? Well, it was just about as close as the last one. So it was kind of sad to see, because Aya Melody she tried to be so positive on her Twitter when she saw that she came in like second place there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm really happy. I love all you guys. Thanks for like all the support. This is really cool. Obviously it sucks to not get in, blah, blah, blah." And then it was just so sad to see, but her sister, so Aya Melody's sister, I just discovered, is in like another idol group.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys knew that. But so she tweeted out, she's like, "Oh, I called my house and I heard my sister just crying in her room after she came back from the theater." So yeah, I just found that really sad.
Yeah.
So I hope she can bounce back from that.
It makes me kind of wonder
Yeah.
if what would happen if the guys would just spend their money for SKEncore instead of this event. Like if you say $1,000 or so, can get you some votes
Well,
for SKEncore.
Okay, so let me just clarify that a bit with $1,000. It depends on how strong your account is. So those people had kind of beginner accounts like I did. But if you spend $1,000 on someone with a much better account, you get much more value out of that money.
Okay.
So like they're, so our accounts are weak. So that's why I didn't bother spending any money, because, I'd have to spend a lot like them, like 1,000 or so, to get anything kind of done. Whereas I'm pretty sure if you gave that amount of money to other people, like basically people with high-end accounts, it ended up being a matter of time rather than money, because they ended up having all the good items, so they could just continue on forever. So they ended up not sleeping, those guys. Because like that game has like a kind of delay of like when you do the battles or whatever, so you need to always be clicking on the screen. So yeah, so at one point it just got to the point where these people just didn't end up sleeping, and I know a few people like that anyway.
Okay. Next on 14th.
So Gotorola, she tweeted that she passed the Aiken test. So it's a English proficiency test. So it's probably why she was like a lot absent recently. So I don't know exactly like the level of the test, but from what I've heard, it's like the second highest English test in Japan. So not really surprising. I think if you like spoken with her in Handshake, her English is really exceptional. So yeah, not surprising.
Yeah, I was confused first because I thought level 1 would be really low, but turns out it was the opposite.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Yeah, I think. Sorry,
Okay.
I think the reason she was missing out for a lot of time was due to maybe not just this exam, but she had exams in high school, and I guess she puts a lot of emphasis on them. So she was saying that, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure
she had a
it's
school
not
trip.
too easy to pass this kind of exam.
Yeah, I think she went to Okinawa for her school trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next, Will.
Yeah, so the next day, no, same day, they announced that the Tokai radio programs will continue. So basically, every 13 weeks in Japan, they have to announce that programs will continue because that's their 4 seasons in a year system. So the Tokai radio programs, it's the series of Ichi Tatsuichi, Nijanayo, and Sanjanayo, Ichijanayo, plus a couple more programs where some members are regulars. Like I think Yuzuki is probably a regular for on a program that has to do with baseball, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
So all the programs are renewed. The time changes for some of them, like pushed half an hour later. But more, it's still not middle of the night. So I guess it's still fine.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, on the 15th we had a showroom where the members' results of the Center Shiken were announced. Actually, a couple of SK members ranked, most notably probably Piyosu on rank 14th and Yuki on 8th. I think Piyosu actually drew with Sashi.
Yeah.
And yeah, Yuki, for example, drew with a Yuihan and so on. So they did pretty well. These were the highest ranking members, and then you had a couple members in the lower ranks, in top 100. For example, Kamura Ayuka or Juna Mikoto and so on. They were ranking in the lower ranks.
So it was what, out of 200 points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much did they get?
Piyosu got 114 and Yuki 119. And the winner, Mukai Mion, got 175. 57.
So,
57.
I don't know how many girls took the test since they only showed the top 100, but being 8 with like 119 out of 200, it was probably really difficult, I guess.
Yeah, it was, because they showed the top 5%, and I think the highest score was like a 165. So Mion was really close to the top scores that people got. I think she would have scored 4th or 5th or something like that total, including fans.
Yeah, it's like you notice that most of the like otakus we have in SKE actually didn't rank that high because you just know SKE.
Yeah.
How much did Maya get?
21 out of 200. Yeah, she got 21. That's what she said on the radio yesterday. I might be mistaken, but yeah.
Okay. Also, on the same day, I think the 7th generation had her 4th year anniversary. So time really flies. And yeah, on 17th there were handshake events.
4th?
Yeah. It was a very nice handshake event in Kyoto. So anyway, I wrote a big report, so I'm not going to talk about that too much. But I really don't like the Kyoto venue. Let me just put that out the way. It's really small, so like all Mushiki no Iro handshake events, they're all the same, right? They all have the badminton, and they all have the same events basically going on. So this time the badminton couldn't fit in the same room, so you had to go into another room, and it was really annoying watching the badminton there because the ceiling was so low that when the members would be playing badminton, the birdie would always hit the ceiling and it would fall back down.
Yeah,
so they would just keep having to pick it up. Yeah, so the matches were really short because you get timed on your match for the badminton. So like you could exchange like 2 hits and that was like it because there was so much interference.
Yeah.
Apart from that, also at these events they also have a dance corner. I didn't go, but some members go into this booth and you can go in with them for free, and they teach you how to do some movements and stuff. And then afterwards, there's also a fragrance corner. I don't know what that is, but I saw Hadagon was giving perfume to people. So she looked at you and she had this perfume in front of her, and she would look at you and she'd say, "Okay, this is your perfume," and she would spray it on you and give you a little bit. I think, so she'll give you a little bit of perfume, and I think it was free. I didn't go because I thought you had to pay something. I'm like, I'm not buying perfume, but I think it was free. So kind of funny.
Yeah,
One of them had a really weird name.
I hold on. I took a picture of it. Let me find it while I talk.
They introduced
and
it
anyway.
last year, I think, after some
is
fans
it? Okay.
complained.
Why did they complain?
While he's looking for it, just a correction. It was the 3rd anniversary of 7th generation.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, not
I
the
mixed
4th.
up 4th year and.
I was thinking like, wow, 4 years. That's insane.
But yeah, they introduced it because some, I think, female fans complained that some other fans were pretty smelly because of smoking a lot. So.
Oh, yeah, I remember Cowtown said that in a tweet.
Yeah,
She's like,
exactly.
my fans are so smelly. You guys should bring Febreze to the events.
Yeah, and then they introduced
that?
this corner.
Like Oshi, like fan.
All right,
And
so
I never went close enough to smell her, but I'm sure.
All right, so the bottle in question with the weird name was called Sexiest Fantasies Between the Sheets. And it was a black bottle with pink on it, so it was number 19.
She probably had no idea what it meant, but...
No, exactly, and yeah. Anyway, so you could have gotten that one, and if I would have gotten that one, I don't know what I would have done. Anyway, so apart from that, standard handshake event, nothing, no announcements, nothing. Had a great time with my Oshimen, and I felt bad for Tanny because she had no one in her lane, and she was next to me, and she was looking at me. So I just felt bad for Tanny. And then on the next day, there was another handshake. I didn't go to it in Yokohama, and this was the last handshake for Ichino Narumi. So this was her last handshake, so they had a little thing for her at the end.
Yeah.
And the D3 members performed. Oh yeah, and the event and Kyoto too, the D3 members were there too. You could have free handshakes with them, but I didn't go. Again. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, also for Yokohama, I know that Wanchan and Chikako shared the same room, so Chikako got to enjoy Wanchan's skincare also for the first time. And so she talked about it a lot in the last stage. It was a bit traumatizing, I guess.
What do you mean skincare? Like how she keeps care of her own skin, or what?
No, for Chikako's skin, I guess. So just comes into her bed and then starts touching everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. Also we got some comment on Anago.
So maybe it's nothing, but yeah, USA said that it would like to do new stages after the concerts. So probably the Gaishi one in April, I think.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean it's just an Anagogo comment, so maybe it's nothing, but yeah.
So basically we can finish our introduction of the stages now and start all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see how this will turn out. And if it's really new stages or just another new mix.
Not a chance.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. Next on 19th.
Yeah, next day. So they announced that they're going to do a showroom relay for the SSA concert. Beginning tomorrow, the 21st, they're going to do one member a day till the concert on the 31st. So it's going to be Makiko, Kuma-chan, Sally, Nao, Yunana, Ryoha, Churi, Akarin, Minarun, and like everything in SKE, it has to end with Jelena, so yeah. So I'm not very sure what they're going to do, like in this relay. It doesn't begin yet, but yeah, I'm curious because it's probably not about the set list or anything because it's so close to the concerts.
Probably just talking.
Yeah, it's kind of nice because there's not going to be many theaters because they have the concerts, so there's not much happening. I think that's one reason, and we get all these people who don't normally showroom, so I guess it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Same day, so it's out of nowhere already, the D3 members, the one in SKE and in STU, got their showroom account back. So they started broadcasting yesterday without any news or announcements. I just saw the notification on my phone. So the weird thing is the D3 members still had their old account, so it still says draft members and their name, and not like STU. It's for STU. It's STU SKEncore. So yeah, pretty weird. But yeah, the both from Team S and the one from K2 started broadcasting.
Okay.
And then yesterday on Monday, they announced the Senbatsu for the new AKB A-side. So from SKE, there's Julina, Suda, and Yunana, so same as last time. I guess we need to wait for Suda to graduate to see new faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched it after the Team S stage, but I want to talk about this, I guess, next week when we talk about the stages from last week. Because it was interesting to watch the members' reactions, but yeah, we'll do that later.
Or lack of reaction.
Yeah.
You just wanted to go home, really.
Yeah. For them.
Okay, next, let's move to graduation news or graduate members news.
Yeah. So Furka Ari will have a like I announced last week that she'll have her her little events for her. Well, that she was releasing the book, and now she'll have events for her book. So we have events scheduled. So Nagoya, the event will be on April 7th, which I'll go to, and then we have some in Osaka on the 14th of April, and then Tokyo the 21st of April, and then there's a talk show on the 5th of May. So yeah, so that's what she's gonna do. And she this week, I think she drew I think it was this week, she drew a really cute picture of Strawberry Punch. So I just wanted you to put a picture there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm gonna put it in the video. It looks really nice and cute.
Yeah, she's always drawing SK members. She likes to draw Yunana a lot.
Yeah.
And so Ishida appeared on a show called Scato Japan. So it's a comedy show where they play some skits. So she was playing one in a Kaiten Zushi, where she was the date of a rude guy, like some kind of yakuza or ex-bosozoku. And basically, her role was to play the kind of stupid, beautiful girl who likes to get everything paid for her. And she commented that it was very easy because it was really close to her personality.
Yeah, I bet you loved it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right down your alley.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, we finish the news roundup and move on to the theater roundup, starting on the 12th with K2 stage.
Yeah, K2 stage, so same members as usual, so meaning no Churi, no Yukina. Obamina on the song before the overture. During the MC, both half of the teams played a game where they call it Maru Maruha. So it's like, which faction are you? So for example, Yunana comes and asks, do you prefer cute girls or beautiful girls? And they go left or right, depending on what they prefer. So it was kind of funny, but like nothing really to remember for ages. But the one thing I noticed is that for the second half, so Kochan took charge, because when one of the members was saying, okay, do you prefer sweet or spicy? Then like no one knows which side they have to go. So another member had to say, okay, go to this side if you like this, go to this side if you like that. And it's Kochan who took care of that. So it rings back to what we talked last week, that she's really professional. So even with senpais around her, if she sees like this is going nowhere, she will take the matter into her hands and organize things. Yeah. It was Mio and Wanchan who were commenting.
Yeah.
So Mio chose now as MVP, of course, because first objectively she's the MVP and also she's Mio's OP. Not sure for Wanchan. No, she chose Ego-chan, right? I
Yeah, but she also said for her everyone was MVP.
That's such an easy answer.
Yeah, but it's typical Wanchan. Yeah. Then on 13th we had a Team S stage. Ryoha wasn't there, I guess, because of the marathon she ran. And so we had Marin, Kohaku, Izudin, and Aina as Kenkyusei, which also means that out of 16 performing members, 12 members were from Nanaditsu and 8th generation. So it's like the most possible young lineup you could get, I guess. And yeah, Akapin was performed by Wanchan and Shikako, and Shikako also performed the Moishiki Center. As for MCs, I don't remember too much. It was like the standard stage talk, so nothing so much to remember.
Yeah, on the 14th, it was a session girl Koen. So this time it was regular member and Kenkyusei. For the Kenkyusei, it's pretty much the one who are undering a lot. So we had a lot of good MCs. So we had the MC what club do they want to create in SKE. So Ego-chan wanted to create a rugby club. So everyone was surprised, like, okay, yeah, did you play rugby or anything? No, but you're bad at sport, right? Yeah. Okay, so why do you want to do like a rugby club? So yeah, it was pretty fun. And Piosu wanted to do an idol club, like watching idol videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And for the Muishiki Center, it was Sakepad. Next day, on the 15th, it was Team E. So with Anders, Kwaku, Aina, and Nodo-chan. So it was the return of Lala's. Like, I think she missed, stages for like 2 weeks at least. Yeah, and she cut her hair like the next day, so we are going to have to see that.
Yeah,
it's very sad.
I don't know. I need to see it like in the stage performance because yeah, she just cut it like recently and she cut it again.
Yeah, I really like
she saw Kadanana, Yunana, and she thinks she needs to have at least kind of short hair to be a center someday.
Maybe.
And for MC, she did the thing they wanted to do in SSA. And the Muishiki Center was Maya.
Yeah, also, Noguchi Yume went to watch the stage because she wanted to see Naru-chan once again before she graduates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got a nice picture, which made me really happy.
Well, it makes me sad. Yeah,
yeah, happy and sad, both of it.
On the 16th, so it was Narupi's Sentai, so with Team K2. So yeah, full K2 lineup, no Anders. Just Yunana, Churi, and Yukina missing. So what I liked about this was like the relationship between Kochan and Narupi. So Kochan, in her introduction MC, she talked about how now Narupi is like Tsun to her. But back in when she entered the group, like Narupi was one of the senpai, like going to her and like holding her hand and stuff. And now she's not doing it at all. And so yeah, Narupi did the very short speech, so everyone was like surprised. And Kochan did a little speech too. When she really like she wants to be friend with her, like she says they don't interact a lot, and Narupi likes to be alone and stuff, so she wants to have a better relationship with her.
Yeah, the short speech really fits her image, that she doesn't really like to talk much.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that, we finish the TV and media roundup. The theater roundup, sorry. And we move on to the TV and media roundup. First, we had Musubi no Ichiban, which I watched with Nick.
Yep. So very rare that I watch Musubi, but Maya was on it, so I didn't have a choice. So this time the members were Ego-chan, Mizuno, Airi, and Maya. So the mission for this episode was for Airi and Maya to kind of search for Ego, who's like the dressed up as an angel. In Nagoya, I think they were. So the first time, and Ego-chan would post video hints, so they'd have like a phone or something. I forget what they even had. And Ego-chan would appear and say, like there'd be a little video with hints of where she could be. So they obviously couldn't use like Google Maps or like any apps on their phones to try and search and find anything that to ask people and walk by themselves. So the first time they found this old lady who, oh my God, she was having trouble walking. Oof, it was hard. Maya had to hold her back. That's how hard it was for her to walk. And she walked so slowly. Anyway, they made it to this like shop, and then the second time it was like a shrine kind of area, and they didn't make it over there. Because no one would even want to talk to them on the street and help them. So they really didn't have any help there, and they went to some other kind of shrine area along the river, which was like, I think they had a good idea, but they were just like they were just wrong area. And then there was like the little 10-second there's the 10 anniversary challenge that Yuki-chan and Suda always do. So this time I think like if Suda would have won this, they would have been even, like 5-5 or something.
Exactly.
But Yuki-chan won, so it's 6-4. Anyway, it was they had to blow a coin into a plate, and they had 10 tries to do it. So Suda went first, and she did it. Well, she tried 10 times, didn't make it in. And I think Yuki-chan got it on like the first try.
Yeah, I think
the second
first
try.
Yeah, the first.
Yeah. So anyway, so she won.
Yeah.
And then the little final 30-second appeal was Don-chan doing the subway announcement. I found it really funnier when Jeff made that GIF from the stage when she did in the stage.
Yeah.
Because everyone was laughing when she didn't. So I found that funnier, but it was still funny. I like the Chinese that she does. It's really funny.
Then we had the Nijanai videos, which was the members from 5th to 9th of March. My personal favorite, of course, was Ai versus Miyomaru. And the nice thing was the broadcast date of the episode was on Ai's birthday on the 5th, so of course they had the cake, which for the first time looked delicious to me because I don't like fruits. So they had chocolate cake, and I really liked how that looked. It was really nice to watch the episode. I don't know if you had any other noteworthy episodes.
I like the surprisingly the Sally and Hatagon one, because like it wasn't really like funny or anything, but they seemed to like become friends like at the end of the episode, so it was pretty nice.
Okay, and then we had also Sanjanayo on 17th, which featured members Yokonya, Ruchan, and Yurana, which is a nice combi in my opinion. Like you have the center and 2 possible candidates for centers in the future, maybe.
Yeah, and a great episode too.
Yeah, it was really funny to watch.
Yeah, I like as usual, like Yunana in Nijanayo or Sanjanayo, she's really good. She's really funny, and she really with the producer, she's like very good friends. So yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
And they had Yokonyan, so she did a drawing of Yunana. So yeah, as usual with the Yukonyan's drawing, it was pretty brutal. And then she did one for Luchan.
Yeah.
I like that one. It was really funny.
Next on 17th also we had the next episode of Zero Position.
And not the last.
Yeah.
Because we expected to get the results announced at the end, but no, it was only the 5 other girls singing. Yumena kind of had the same problem as Mikoti, where on some parts she had a really nice voice, and some parts her voice failed her. Kano-chan was my favorite performance on this episode. Really nice voice.
Yeah.
And she had a bit more faster song, which was nice compared to the other slow songs.
I put her like 3rd after Nao and Miku, I guess. Ike and Kochan did a very decent performance. I mean, nothing wrong like with some of the other members. Well, nothing as good as the best ones either. I really like the song I chose. While Kochan chose the most boring song possible, but, Shogunai. And Soda. So she's a big fan of musicals. So the judge Nizuma something, who is a musical actress. Soda was a big fan of hers. It's funny because so this actress is like, I don't know, close to 40 years old. Somehow she looks younger than Sally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, her performance, like technically, it was good. It sounded like a performance for a musical, but yeah, I didn't really feel anything special coming from that. And so yeah, at the end, so they said that next week there will be a 1 hour special episode to announce the results.
Yeah, it's so weird there.
It's on
Especially
April
why
7th
1 hour,
or 5th? The 7th, I think, right? They said. Like it's actually 3 weeks.
3 weeks from now? Okay.
I think they said April 7th, but I might be wrong there.
They showed a preview where the judges were hesitating between two girls or something, of course with the names beeped.
Of course.
I hope they are not hesitating for the first place, because I don't see any reason to.
Yeah.
And it's more like they are hesitating who will be the last one in the top 5 or something like that.
Yeah, I'd probably put II over Kanochan, but I'm biased, so I'm not sure there. Yeah, I guess
Yeah, I liked AI too. Yeah.
it's gonna be. It proved to be a really interesting competition, in my opinion. Like, no one really was super bad. So yeah, really nice to watch, and I'm looking forward to the results. Yeah, then we finished the news and TV and media roundup 2, and let's move on to discussion where we continue introducing you to the K2 members. Last week we made it to Takagi Yumana, so starting this week we'll start with Takatsu Kanatsuki. Her nickname is Nachi. She's 17 from Osaka, from draft first generation, and her pinlight colors are light blue, blue, and white.
Silence.
I'm waiting for
That
someone
sums
else to
it
go
pretty
first.
much, yeah.
Yeah. So we had a really hard time finding anything about. Well, not finding any, but it was hard to put anything. But what we can tell you is that she likes dolphins. That's like been her kind of theme, I guess, since the start, I think. And I've seen her do some makeup showrooms, and people seem to like them. So yeah, and surprisingly, it's no secret that she's like one of the least popular members of the whole group. But like every concert I've been to, people have been pretty encouraging of her. Like they always call her name. So in a way, it's nice to see fans not be like, oh, who is this like girl who no one cares about, like kind of like what we did right now. But like they're kind of like it's nice to see it's nice to see the fans not just like not shit on her during concerts and stuff like that. Like, she gets some very large calls.
Yeah.
During concerts. So again, that's all I can say. So how about you guys?
She has a bit like of the big eater image, like I also has. Well, in the line live before they were also showing, including her in the challenge to eat as much as possible, for example.
She's a good singer too. Like I had no idea, but yeah, for the SoloCon, I think many fans were surprised.
Yeah. Okay, next we have Takayanagi Akane, or Chudi. She's 26 from Aichi, second generation, yellow and green, and I leave the rest to Nick.
Yeah, so I could talk for like, I don't know, I we can make an entire episode about this, but so I'll try and keep it short, but I won't. So she got in the group as part of the second generation, and she was hesitating between becoming a cook So she was thinking about entering culinary school after graduating high school. So she was ending high school, and then she saw the SKE in audition. So she thought, oh, I might, I'll try and apply to this group. She didn't really know much at all about AKB at all before that, but she liked Morning Musume in grade school and in middle school, and so she kind of liked what idols were, and she's like, oh, I think I want to try being an idol and see what it's like. So and she made a lot of her friends in high school through going to idol concerts and other music shows. So she wanted to try that out. So she got in. During her audition, she like they asked her who her favorite member is. Like, I guess that's a question they always ask them. And she had no idea of who any of the members were. So she's just like, oh, Jurina, because that's the only one she knew the name of. She didn't even know which Jurina was and anything, but she just said Jurina. So anyway, and then she got in the group. So so obviously I became a fan much later. So I'm not too familiar with all the very early stuff, but she was kind of near the start of the group with the advent of the second generation. She was kind of put forward as like the third girl, as kind of like, you had the two Matsuis, right, who always kind of stuck, right, as the two centers, and then they kind of put her in, right, for certain singles as like the kind of third person, and it didn't really pan out. So she never became the she never became the center of a single, but she did become one of the group's most popular members. So that's something. And she's always, obviously, since the start, she's been paired with Irene as the kind of duo that they kind of made, especially we're going to talk about this after, but with how K2 operated, they were just kind of the duo. And she also formed a pretty big friendship with Sato Mieko, who she's still friends with and meets with a lot, and also with younger members like Ishida Anna, who came in later, and so on. So she's always been kind of the centerpiece, I guess, of K2. Mieko could have been that. She was sent off to Team S at some point, and then obviously Irene graduated, so she's been there since the start. And she's also very important for K2 because she's the one who petitioned Akipi during the Sosenkyo that Willie went to, where she asked for an original stage for K2. So I think at that point S had an original stage, right? And so she asked two, okay. And so she asked for an original stage from Akipi. She directly. Well, I mean, he wasn't in front of her, but she was like, "Oh, please give us a stage," and she bowed down on the stage, and so they got Lamne no Nomikata, which we'll talk about afterwards. But so obviously that's very big because I guess you can say the whole image of the group was centered around that stage afterwards, and I guess it still is even now. So obviously her biggest, I don't want to call it a charm point, but her biggest piece of identity is the whole bird thing. So that was her, her character and it still is her character, but she's kind of gone a bit softer on it in recent years. But the whole bird image was her kind of way to reach out to people. So she has, I think right now she has still 5 birds. I think she's always kept around 5 or 6 birds. I think 2 of them have died since she's joined the group. And so she's kind of added some more over the years. And so she always gets, she's always gotten events related to birds. So every year in Tokyo, there's this bird festival where bird lovers all across Japan go and sell their little products that they make, like handmade products. And so she's always there as a guest. There's bird parks here in Japan, which are a thing, where there are like some parks, just kind of some beauty parks, and there are birds there. So you can go and go bird watching in these parks. So she's been called to a few of them, as a special guest to go there. And obviously for her book, they went to Malaysia, and she went to one of the world's largest bird parks there.
Okay.
So for photography, which is another one of her interests, that's kind of one of her more recent interests, although she's kind of had that since the beginning, where she took pictures of members, and she's always had the watermark Churi camera. Where that was like one of the kind of earliest ways, right, that members would take pictures of each other. Recently, she's kind of let that go, the whole watermark and cherry camera thing. I guess there's not really much of a need now when the members all have Twitter. But before they had Twitter, and even before they had Google Plus and all that, and when they had Google Plus, that was a big thing, which she did.
Yeah.
And more recently, she's been getting photography work. So there's a site called Tokyo Idol Net, I think, and she takes photos of professional photos of other idols, and so she does a lot of other photography business. Yeah. So she also likes video games, although that's not really something she talks much about. But fans give her a lot of video games sometimes as gifts, and she talks to people about games and manga and stuff like that. So she was one of the big members of the anime club or the 2D club in SKE.
Okay.
So she's been there since the start with them. And so she's always, like I said, she's always been rather close with a lot of SK members across all the teams. And even now, when we don't really, when we don't really see much of her in the theater, I guess that's why Minoru is more of the leader now.
Yeah.
Than she is. But she still acts as a leader to the younger members. And I'm getting the feeling that you want me to stop talking now.
Keep going.
But yeah, I remember doing the Igaini Mango stage, during the backstage part. They showed her also being the leader for the Kenkyusei, I think in Tokyo. Maybe, yeah. But
you mean the Zep Tokyo stage?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well,
scolding the Kenkyusei.
Yeah. So I think that how they did that was right. Makiko had the Nagoya one, and she was leading the Tokyo one.
Yeah.
And so also, I think with Zero Position, she was one of the big reasons why they had a Zero Position concert in the first place. The first one they had in Nagoya, where she like a big reason was because she and Lala and Ryoha, who were the MCs at the time, they petitioned them, but I think it was mostly Cherry. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. But I think it was mostly her who kind of got them to do that thing, and everyone was like, "Oh, thank you, Cherry, for organizing us this this concert." And so sorry about concerts. Apart from just those the Zero Position ones are the ones where she's most involved in the concerts. But even for other SK concerts, she's heavily involved in the lineups. So the management will ask her and Makiko more recently and other members about what lineups they want and what units they should try this time. So it's nice to see that the management is giving some kind of choice to the members.
Yeah.
With how it goes, and I think her and Makiko are the ones that are kind of trusted the most by the management.
Yeah, it makes sense. They are so long ago, and Juliana is more the face of the group, but not the leader type. So.
Well, I mean, Makiko's the captain, right? So.
Yeah. So. Exactly.
I mean, obviously they trust her for some things, although apparently not Senbatsu, and Shuri they obviously just because she's been there for so long, and apparently I guess they like her decisions or whatever. So I guess I can stop talking here, but I have just so much more to say.
We can someday we can do another episode where we just talk about our
yeah.
Okay.
Well, then I wouldn't be talking about her.
Yeah. Okay, next we have Takeuchi Saki, or Saki-pon. She's 18 from IT, 6th generation, and her pen lights are pink and blue. Yeah,
so, I guess I'll talk again.
Yeah, just go ahead.
But Saki-pon is, again, like you said, she's 6th gen, and I think she's the most recent addition to the, not counting Yukina, but I think she's one of the most recent additions to Senbatsu. But anyway, I kind of had a feeling she'd get into Senbatsu because she has the kind of serious personality, which is another reason why I think Ko-chan will get in Senbatsu at some point. But she's always been the hard worker type. She's extremely serious with her blogs, although she said that she's missed 3 total blogs in her, she's missed, I think there's been 3 days since she can do Ame blogs, since she's been part of Senbatsu, where she hasn't put a daily blog up.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not sure about the SKE
on
blogs.
On the SKE mobile website, she blogs like 10 times a day, or at least more than 5 times for sure.
Yeah. So she just she really puts a lot of time, and then obviously we don't know because we're not subscribed, but she has the SKE mail too, right, where she sends multiple a day, and that I know that she sends multiple a day. So she puts a lot of work in the group. You can see in the theaters too. She's very diligent with the performances. She puts a lot of effort into it. She's also kind of funny in some of the MCs. She has a kind of lolicon character to her, even though she's pretty young. She's only 18. She doesn't look 18 to me though. But yeah, like when I was at the handshake, she was with Kamimura Ayuka, so one of the youngest members, and she was just going crazy. She was just holding her like crazy, and she saw these 6-year-olds in the crowd, like fans, I guess, or kids of fans. And she just ran over to them, and she's like, "Oh, how old are they? They're so cute." And they couldn't start the badminton because she was just going crazy over the kids. But her character, I guess, is the princess character. You go ahead.
Because with the lolicon thing, this week on the Session Girl MC, it was the same thing. Like, she was asking why the FGen weren't very going to her. And so Caro say, "Oh, you have the image of not liking like the older members." So she say, "Oh, yeah." So you can come to me if you're like 18 or under.
Yeah. Okay.
But Yukina is 17 in her heart, so she could go and see her.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing about Sakipon is that I could see her being having a leader role in K2.
Yeah.
When all the older members graduate, I can definitely see her get in there.
Yeah, because I remember, I don't remember who was missing, but last second someone couldn't make it, so they decided like the management staff wanted to do a stage with just 15 members. And she said, "Okay, no, I'm going to learn the position for the members who's missing, and if you find a KenQC who can cover my place." So she took the initiative to go to the staff and say, "No, we are not going to do a perf with a member missing. We are going to make it work." So yeah.
All right. Okay. Then next up is Hidaka Yuzuki. Or Yuzuki, she's 19 from IG, 6th generation, and her panda colors are 2 red ones.
Yeah, so Yuzuki's obviously, she's a diehard fan of the Chunichi Dragons here, so Naga's baseball team. She's one of the, I think she's one of the funnier members in the group. She's pretty good at MCs, and she laughs a lot, which makes the fans laugh a lot. And a lot of members have a kind of crush on her, it seems. So Maya likes her a lot, and I know other members do. And this is really funny. So when she joined the group, she said she was an Oshi, like Churi was her Oshi. She's like, "Oh, I was a fan of the group before joining," like a lot of members. And so she's like, "Churi was my Oshiman." And so apparently, whenever she would see Churi, when she would first join the group, she was so nervous when she'd see her that she'd cry all the time, and she would never be able to talk to Churi. And she's like, "Oh, I love you so much. I can't talk. I can't even be in your presence, without crying." And now it's totally changed. So recently, she wrote that, and then Churi's like, "Yeah, well, now you don't even care. Like, you don't even want to talk to me anymore." So what happened? Who did you Oshi him to? So, yeah. And more recently, she's become a member of the Strawberry Punch duo with Mikoti. Yep.
And she's great in Handshake too. Like, I've seen her in National Handshake, and she's saying same thing as Chikako or Luca. Like, you can go see her with nothing, and she's going to make it fun.
She's got this new thing on AK Bingo that she's been invited quite a few times recently, and Muramoto will ask a question, and she will instead of answering like an idol, she will answer like a baseball player, and it's always very well made. Like for a few seconds, you think she's really answering as an idol, then you see like, wait, something's wrong, and then she gives it up that she's talking about baseball.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's one of the funnier things in SKEncore recently.
Yeah. Okay, next we have Furuata Now-chan, 21 from IT, 5th generation. Her pen lights are yellow, green, and light blue, and the rest will be done by Willy.
Yeah, so she's the most talented member in the whole 48 group, right? Let's say it right now. No, she's one of the better singers, probably the best one in SKE at the moment.
Yeah.
She's a decent dancer. She's one of the top dancers, but she's not bad either. She's a good actress. She's won some auditions. She's won some roles within and outside of the 48 group. There's one thing where she's really better than anybody else. It's at conveying emotions during the song. Like she doesn't dance during the song; she acts. That's you can really feel that. She can act anything. Like she can be cute like Yunana on a second, and then in a blink, boom, she becomes like cool like Julina, or depressed like Churi, or she can just like do the whole range of emotions, and you see like the other members will switch between I don't know 2 or 3 during a song, or keep the same one if they're okay Nana. But like now we'll switch between 5, 6, 7. She's really acting every sentence of the lyrics, and you can see that during her performance at the SoloCon.
Yeah, of course.
Ju Clone Topan, and like this song switches between like a slow and depressed tempo to a very fierce tempo to then a more sexy one, and she can show the whole range of what she can do. I don't really see any other girls who could do that. Like her closest rival was Azuma Rian, who was also like really good at everything. And I kind of like it that they shipped the 2 of them together rather than try to create a rivalry.
Yeah, it worked really great.
So she's known for playing the saxophone. So she did. She appeared quite a few times with her saxophone during concerts or performances. So, for example, Julina was complaining that at the first day at the Nagoya Dome, actually Nao and Rion were on stage before the first gen, because Nao was playing the saxophone. At the moment, she's a member of AKB stage, one of the special stages, and she's playing her sax during 2 songs. So yeah, it's really one of her trademarks. Well, to say one negative thing, she's very bad with her kohai. I mean, to get close to them, because she's really shy in the beginning, but once she gets close to a member, she's super clingy. She's gonna like jump on them, hug them, bite them, kiss them, everything. Like at some point, she said she found Obamina so cute that she wanted to damage her. Not sure what she meant by that, but the thing is, so she easily gets close to senpais because the senpai will come talk to her first. But yeah, she won't go talk to a kohai by herself. So the only one she was really close to was Rion, because they were shipped together so much that she had to talk with her. But it seems she likes Mio, so hopefully maybe something will happen on that side. So but she was she joined in 2011 with the 5th gen. And she was one of the two first members who got promoted. But even before that, and I mean the two first members promoted were promoted like 9 months before the rest of the gen. But even before that, like they had already noticed that she was a really good singer. She was on the B-side Alation, where you had all the best singers of SKE, like Mieko, Deguchi Aki, Irene, Anya, Yukari, etc. And then a random Kenkyusei. So it's like really from the start, she was. They recognized that she was one of the talented girls. But they didn't push her like right away after promotion like Nanako. They really took their time. But like when they started, they really went very strong at it. Like in the same week, they put her on a AKB B-side. They showed her on AK Bingo. They showed her on a primetime show as the girl who had the best handshake technique in the 48 group. And they put her to sing a song on SKE Magical Radio, like a really cool song to show that she could both do the cute girl in handshake and a nice girl would do with her famous full rata jump, where she would jump from one customer to the next to not waste a second.
Okay.
And at the same time, she could really sing and be fierce when she's singing. They gave her a Kenin like 2 months later, put her into her first senbatsu with Utsukushi Inazuma. So yeah, they started a bit slow, but gave her a really strong push. And especially at the time, like the Kenin really meant something, that they wanted to push the girl. They even put her in the senbatsu for the Janken song when they rigged it to make Juliana win. So then, but then the next year when they shuffled, they put her as first she ranked the senbatsu because of the push, and they put her as Team K2 center when they shuffled. They put her on Labrador Retriever. She started getting gigs in saxophone magazines. So that's one of the pushes that worked pretty well for them. So at some point she wanted to become a musical actress. I'm not sure if it's still in her mind. I think right now she's just focused on getting a photo book and a solo concert, but she thinks she's too fat for both. So she started a diet.
Okay.
So Japanese girl way of
yeah.
I'm too fat. But a few days before starting the diet, she tweeted a picture of some donuts she was eating, and the company selling the donuts sent her 5 boxes.
Diet's over.
Too bad.
But I think in the past year she's attracted some attention from some professionals. Like when she won the singing competition on AK Bingo, actually one of the judges kept following her, giving her advice on her sax playing, on her singing, and then when she won an audition for a drama on a national TV channel, and I think it's one of the reasons why she got to do a musical. So she starred in Hanayori Dango, which was not her first musical because she had the main role in the AKB49 Renai Kinchi Jorei SKE version.
Yeah.
But this one was like getting a role outside of the 48 group, so it was really important. I went to see it in Nagoya, so she had Hanayori Dango is very famous. She had the second female role. I could hear so she had a solo, because she had quite an important role, she had a solo song just before the break, and then during the break I could hear the old ladies behind who came to see the 4 Johnny's Light guys saying, "Oh, who was this girl? What? She's SKE? There are girls like that in SKE? Of course they have." What? So it's about. And during the break, actually, I saw the producer who was a judge for the Diva contest in AK Bingo and who kept following her. So he came to Nagoya especially to see her. So that was really nice. And probably all these things led to her getting to sing the song of a commercial last year, like pretty high profile, because the actress in the commercial was Guhara from Kara, who is like super popular in Japan.
Yeah.
And and then people liked the song. She got a solo song out of it, single out of it. We had to pre-order 10,000 of them, which we managed to do, to get her a solo album. It's going to be a mini album, like 5 songs. She's going to give news about it soon, I guess. And hopefully she will get a solo concert for a small solo live for as a release event, hopefully. Voilà, but that's I think that's our story in the group. Yeah, she entered last year, of course. But,
yeah. Just to add to what you said about her being the best actress or whatever in the group, how she performs. Yeah, I definitely agree that she is the best performer by far. You go to a K2 stage, and I feel like the whole stage is kind of made in a way. I think I said this, but it's kind of made in a way to make her shine the most, I guess. And it really works. Well, okay, so the first K2 I went, I only looked at Churi because, obviously my dream of going to the K2 is to watch Churi. But then the other time I got in, Churi wasn't there. So obviously, I didn't have anyone to kind of stare at the whole time, as a kind of fan, like you guys would do with your Oshiman. But so I was kind of free from that, and I could look at anyone. And now Chan just stood out like crazy. Like I was like, wow, And everyone else who I talk to who's a K2 fan, who goes to theaters, they all tell me, yeah, if my Oshiman isn't there, it's Nao Chan, because she's the best performer by far.
Yeah, same. Always said she was the best performance in 14. Like, it could be like anyone on stage. Like, if Nao is there, I'm just going to look at her, because facial expression wise, she's like so much better than pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
And a great handshake too, by the way.
I cannot tell, I'm too nervous every time.
Okay. Then let's move on to Matsumura Kaori, or Kaotan. She's 28 from Saitama, 3rd generation member, and her pennants are red, green, and white.
Let's go, Willie.
Skip!
Let's go, Willie.
All yours.
It's all yours. Let's go. Let's get another 30 minutes.
I won't say a word.
And someone needs
He's too nervous. He's too nervous.
He's too nervous. Yeah.
Like we know. Yeah.
Okay, then,
all right. I guess. Yeah, I guess I can say some stuff. Obviously she was. Actually, one of you guys can correct me. She was like a cabaret member before. Joining, what was she? What was her thing?
Hostess.
Yeah. Hostess, right?
Yeah. Like it was known that she was like a maid like before. And then I don't remember. I think it was like Bunchun or something. Like, oh yeah, she worked in a hostess club.
She's like, yeah, of course I did.
And she said, well, yeah, I had to make money. Yeah. The end.
Who would pay for that?
Well, apparently.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people. I don't know. So. I obviously there's a lot to say about her. Where she, despite being, she says it herself, and she's the joke of being the ugliest member, right?
Yeah.
In the group. So.
It's not just a joke.
I knew you'd say that. She amassed quite a following of fans, obviously, and she got in Sanbatsu twice, I think, in the SKEncore. Or once?
More than that, no, I think, no.
Okay.
Like even last year, she got in.
No, she didn't.
She was not even in the prelims, but they called her something like 19th or something like that.
Yeah.
So they called SKE Team K2. So yeah, I was like, fuck, we missed it again. And then I heard Matsumura Kaori. I think it's the first time in my life I really liked her. Even now, I'd forgotten that she was in the election, and thought she was done as well. So that's why I remember she ranked last year.
Yeah, what I really like about her is that she's doing these backstage videos from, for example, graduation stages and so on. So you get some backstage footage for that, which we usually wouldn't get.
Yeah, her YouTube video channel was like a thing she tried to get going, and I mean, she never updated it enough for it to become like a thing, but
Yeah.
it's always cool to see them do that. She did some interviews with members before SKEncore a few years.
Yeah.
I remember that. I guess more what I remember her most for, this might be a good or bad thing, but she got in a fight with Churian and Irene, I think in 2015, the beginning of 2015 or the end of 2014. Where they had a problem with the 6th generation. So, Churi and Irene, they were. I think the problem was they told, because the 6th generations were promoted straight. They weren't Kenkyuseis. Sorry, not 6th generation. The first draft members, not 6th generation.
Yeah.
The first draft members were made straight into, they didn't have to be Kenkyusei, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the problem there was that Churi and Irene felt that these members were asking for too much. They're like, you don't know how good you had it. Well, I mean, Churi and Irene weren't really Kenkyusei either, but they said, look, these other members, the 6th generation members you're fighting with, for positions and stuff, they had to be Kenkyuseis, and they had to kind of earn their spots.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And obviously Kaotan was a Kenkyusei for, I think she's the longest Kenkyusei, right?
Yeah.
In the group.
But she chose it somewhere.
Yeah. So she took offense to that, and she took the side of the first draftees, and she said, look, you two have to step. Anyway, so they got into a fight for that, and it became kind of a big thing. And to this day, Churi kind of regrets that fight, and she said, I felt bad for the first generation members because we were kind of harsh to them when they first got in. And so maybe that was a good thing that counted. Anyway, we don't have the full details of what really happened and why, but I mean, I guess maybe it was a good thing. Well, anyway, time heals all, time heals it all. And now the first generation members, they're all like, oh, well, what Churi did was really good. And then Churi's like, oh, well, I was really mean, so that's the kind of relation they have now. So I don't know if Kaotan's intervention was good or not, but I remember that being a kind of big thing.
Well, okay, let's get to the next one then. Next we have Mizuno Airi. She's 15. From IG, she's draft 2nd generation. Her pen art is orange. And yeah, she's like another of the draft 2 brats, I guess.
Yeah, I guess she's the member Churi is pushing the most now in K2. She's not making it any secret that she really likes Mizuno Airi. And she kind of likes, she kind of thinks that she can be a center position later on, along with Kochan and other members. So yeah, she's got the brat character, and yeah.
We saw it a lot in Musubi this week. She was shouting and laughing during the whole episode. That's what is really great about her. She's tons of fun wherever she is.
Yeah, exactly. She this handshake event, her fans to me seem like the really clingy type and the shouting type and the kind of fans I wouldn't really like, to be honest. And she kind of treats them with disdain sometimes. So her handshake ended and she was walking away and her fans were yelling at her like crazy, and she just gave them a glare, like a not happy face, and they were just going crazy. They loved it, They just wanted to be they wanted the Peruru treatment, they wanted the salt. She's kind of got that too, but she can be very, she's like obviously sometimes she can be joking with that, but I've seen her at the theater too, and she was really nice to me because I had her pen light for the performance. Churi was in there, and she gave me a big smile and she gave me a thank you after, and so she can be really sweet too. Yeah, because of that whole thing with Churi, all the Churi fans I know, they all like her and they all go to her handshake sometimes.
She's kind of I think she missed the opportunity at the very when she really entered the group, because she's the first member even in 7th gens to sold out our slots, our handshake at the very beginning. So people, like a lot of people went to see her, and she's like in the whole 48, she's the only one bad handshake I had was with her in a national handshake. I got the full salt.
Yeah.
And it's the only member I had. We did that. So I think at the beginning, a lot of fans went to see her, and they just went once.
Yeah.
She's the first girl I noticed in the 7th gen, like even before Yunana, because her personality was really like jumping out compared to the others who were like still very shy.
Yeah,
so
and she was very good, like in the first stage, like she was clearly one of the best.
Well, your handshake kind of been worse than the one I had with those AKB members or with the Coma Arena. So look, I'm sure it was fine compared to that.
Okay. Let's move on to the last but not least member, Yahage Yukina, or Kina. She's 23 from Saitama, 8th generation, and her pen is pink, purple, and white.
I guess I'm taking it.
Yeah, go ahead. Of course.
She's still Hiroshi, or you change again?
Sure. Yukina is pretty funny because I think it's pretty much the only like 48 members with who got so much hype when she got in, because she had a lot of mystery about her, and I think she still does. When she entered, she was 21 maybe, or even 22 when she entered. So pretty interesting. So then we didn't see her for like 3 months, maybe. Like she wasn't doing any showroom. We didn't see any peak. So it was like pretty weird. Then she got into a bicycle accident. Like it's pretty good. I think it took her like 4 months, I think, to see her in stage or showroom. She had a lot of hype about her. I remember
you had already bought handshake tickets for her even before seeing her.
Pretty much, yeah. I think at the time I remember like on Matome sites, like every time she was writing a blog, like it was a Matome article, and with like 100 comments, and she was sold out our slots, even though like we didn't see anything from her. So yeah, pretty interesting.
She's definitely in the top 2 members, the most hyped, and the second one is her sister actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. She's like one of, so she was Senbetsu in the, which one was it?
Igaini Mango.
Igaini Mango. It was not very surprising because she was like in a year she got, I think she's one with 18 slots, I think, in handshake. So
she sold out super quick because everyone was curious to see her.
So she's one of the best handshake sellers. Plus she's like quite old, so like they had to include her like quickly in Senbatsu.
And when you go see her, you understand why she's still one of the top handshake sellers.
Oh yeah.
Alright, she's such a fisher. She's Watanabe Miyuki level. Or Sato Kao level, actually. There's some kind of rivalry between the two of them. But when we went in August, one of the 2 days, I don't remember if it was Friday or Saturday, but she was wearing a long shirt, a man shirt, with a very short, a micro short below. So you just saw the shirt and then directly her legs. So she looked exactly like a girl in your kitchen taking your coffee at 7 a.m. the next morning after you spend the night together.
So yeah, that's pretty much like the same thing with Kaho. Like they're older members, so Like really, they know what they're doing. Like the way they dresses, like the way they handshake.
That's Caro, not Christina.
Yeah, we'll get to that after.
But yeah, definitely like handsome handshake. One of the thing like was like one of the bad thing is the mystery is still there. So like for sometimes we don't see her in handshake in the theater and things like that. And I think it's really hard like to usher her because you're like okay, she's 23, she's in college, you don't really know like how long she's going to stay, so it's
her health is bad too also.
And for management it has to be like complicated, like to push her or something.
It's great she got in once for the Senbatsu. It's gonna be hard for her to get back in, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Okay, I guess that concludes our segment about the members, and we can move on to the stages. Please tell us a bit about the history.
I think we might really talk more about Lamune no Namikata than the current stage.
Yeah, of course.
So we can probably talk about it for hours, but
yeah. But Willie, you go ahead. I don't know much about before Lamune, so.
But before, they
with Aitakata and whatever.
Yeah, they started with Aitakata, so nothing special there. It's one of the starter stages, I guess. Just was funny because the first concerts in 2009 with both the first and second gen, but basically the second gen was doing the full set list of Aitakata in a concert outside because that's the only songs they knew.
Yeah.
And then when they got Teotsu no Naginagara, when Team S got Seifukunome, then the concerts were the full set list of Teotsu Naginagara by Team K2. So actually, some of the units almost became more associated with like Ameno Pianist, for example. You can remember it more as a Irie unit than a Rena unit, because then Rena got Kariano Station, that was our trademark song. So many of the units, you're not sure if it's first gen or second gen unit, not clear. But then, so you explained about how they got Lamune when you talked about Chuli. And I guess it's same as for Seifukunome, like the first song, Kizashi, that's the first image you have when you think about Team K2.
That's
uniform,
K2. That's
the military
song,
march. That's them. Especially
them at the end doing the K2.
K2. That's one of the only stages that has never been done by another team. I think it's pretty much only this one and the NMB one. So it's not like the uniforms girls will have on a B5 stage that has been done by 6 different teams. You don't even remember who it belongs to. No, this red one is really K2. And so before the units, so the last one before the introduction, Omatase set list. It's so in the title itself, it's the set list you've been waiting for, and the lyrics are talking about that. Like finally, we get our original songs. We don't have to sing the songs from our senpais anymore. That's our songs. And when you see them perform this, it's the song where they are the most emotional. You see that they are the most happy to sing the song. A couple months, or maybe a couple months after their Shonichi, maybe even less, they had a SK only request hour, and this song ranked second after Kariano Station. And so all the girls were on stage crying, and then they did the song like crying tears of joy, and it's the most beautiful performance I've ever seen.
Something that I should add. Sorry, can I just one thing. Before they had Lamune, when they debuted with Aitakata and maybe it was Teotsu Naganaga, but they had some performances where they didn't get encores at the end of their theaters. So Churi said that. So they had, and we'll get to this here, but the reason why this stage was called Lamune instead of Kizashi, for example. So Churi wanted the stage to be called Kizashi at the beginning because that's the first song, and it made a better sound than Lamune no Nomikata. It's like a weird sound. Mm-hmm. But the reason they put Lamune no Nomikata, well, or that they liked it at the end, was that it forced them to perform all the way up until the end of the theater.
Yeah.
Because that's after the encore. So, before that, they didn't even make it to the encore. They didn't even get an encore, or they didn't even get a double encore, obviously, before that. So that was a big thing for them. They're like, okay, well, we have, like, every performance, we have to make it to the song of the stage, or else what's the point of performing the stage? Yeah. Churi mentioned this at this event I went to, so felt like sharing. But yeah, like you said, Omatase set list is just such a big. But I mean, every song on there is like a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
So like we could go over every song. Obviously, for me, the big song here is Cross, right? That's Churi's song, which she's always had, and obviously other members do it too. But that's like the song she's associated with.
The first three units are very strong. Cross, Phenom Miracle, and Manazashi Sayonara.
Yeah.
Well, then
for
like
me,
in all
Manazashi is
stages,
more the
then they
S
have,
image, but yeah.
Manazashi is full kawaii. I cannot.
yeah. But also, go ahead.
Yeah, go.
I also associate with Irie with Finland as well, because she's done it a few times. So for me, it's like I kind of get that song too. So those three first songs for me are like, the first 3 unit songs are really good.
Finland, I associate it with Matsuhirena getting crazy over Manatsu. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, for example, Disco Hokenshitsu sometimes pops up in the midnight stage or so. It's always nice to watch, I think.
That's my favorite song from the stage.
Yeah, I really like that song. It's really good. Yeah.
And then the rest of the set list, I mean, it's classic. Classic songs, but there are like some really fun songs like Winning Ball and Bowling Gunbo that
I like
really scream K2.
Or the Lamune no Nomikata is also a song I really like.
And obviously it's the one with the double encore. Are there teams with double encores like other ones than K2?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, and obviously they would have the medley after the double encore, which is always cool. All right, so then let's go to Willie's favorite, the Theater no Megami stage with so they had the shuffle, right? Which we call it Team C for Team Churi, because it wasn't really K2, I guess.
Yeah, it was not K2. That's for sure.
It was not K2, but we call it Team C.
in SK history.
Yeah, it was not a good.
They shuffled it back after a year.
Yeah,
and even the stage, Theater no Megami, it's such a boring stage.
It's a bad stage, but it has one of my favorite songs that they did, which was Team K2 Oshi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I really, really like that. That's actually the way I learned the members. I think I mentioned that, but that's like when I first got in the group, I watched this stage. I thought this stage sucks, but then I got to the end where they did Team K2 Oshi, and I really liked that.
Yeah.
And
Theater no Megami was on the album too, I think, right? So fans probably really liked it because they voted it, I think.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you saying, Willie?
No, just that you learned the members, but you learned Shibataya and Suda Akari.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, team. Yeah, exactly. They're not really K2. Well, I mean, Aya-chan was one of my favorite members. So.
Yeah.
What? yeah. And Haru Tamutu, and then they moved her to S. So.
But yeah, it was really nice to see them go back to Lamune no Nomikata after the second shuffle.
Yeah, that was really nice. That's when I liked K2 the most, by far, when they went back to that, and then I started focusing on like the more current members and that, and with the 6th gen. That was really nice, and you can really see how that stage, with that time, like that was the perfect time to go back to that stage, which means so much to K2, and to get these new girls, well, like the 6th gen members and the 7th gen members, with that new and the first draft members, get them with this kind of legendary stage.
Yeah.
Bring it a step further, and make them grow as well, because they were really rough. When they started, K2 was seen as having a really bad time during this time. So Iron graduated after a while, and a bunch of graduations happened.
Yeah.
And Team S was seen as being far stronger than K2 for a long time, and Team E obviously was stacked.
So the opposite of now, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was really nice to see that. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a bit sad to see them switch to another stage.
It sucks. Yeah.
It's not a bad stage. It's a good stage, but it's not.
It's not Laminate. Yeah, it's not K2. Well, I mean, there's K2, but it's not. It's more K2 than Team C was, obviously.
Yeah. But then let's talk about this new stage.
Sure.
Restart.
Yeah. So
With a zero start.
Zero start. So
pronounced restart.
Yeah. So it's reset again.
Yeah.
With
again,
but with different units. When you see them arriving for the first song, so discounting the Zenza Girl song before the overture, but when you see them arrive for reset, like these costumes, they don't mean anything. It has nothing to do with when they arrive with the military march on Kizashi. So that reset is a good song. I really like the song, but you feel that something is missing.
It's missing. Yeah. It doesn't feel like K2. It's so fucked. Okay, if you go to the theater. Okay, sorry, I'm this made me angry, okay? And this made me sad a bit. It's so fucked up because you go to the theater and they play, for each stage you go to, they play a song of a past stage they had, like one of their more popular songs. So for Team E, they play, like there's an instrumental of Ameno pianist that plays. Mm-hmm. And for K2, it's like the disco song and like some other songs, the Dacho song too. So Anna's song, and I'm like, and obviously it gets me in the mood to see Lamne, right? And then I'm in my head, I'm waiting for the thing to begin, for the stage to begin, and all I can think of is where's the Kizashi, like where's the military uniforms, when are they coming out? And then it starts with Kautan song. So it's not what you want. Well, anyway, for me at least, it was jarring to see it at first, but it was good because Churi was doing that the first time I went, so it wasn't that bad. But the second time I went, I was sitting down alone, and I was just like, "What is this?" But I agree with Willie. It's not a bad, it's not horrible, but I just don't. It's just not Lamne. So
yeah, it's a good song. What I like before the intros is they do like Kanojon in Alemaska, and then Uho, so the gorilla song. And I could totally see Team S doing Kanojon in Alemaska, but I cannot imagine Team E doing it. Well, I can totally see Team E doing Uho, but I cannot imagine Team S doing that.
Yeah.
And K2 is the team who can do both.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. The gorilla
thanks
song.
Thanks to a center who can do everything, by the way.
About Uho, I remember when they first did this stage, Oshirin had a lot of problems with it because she felt that her being the gorilla, like, because they nominated, she was kind of the first person they had doing the gorilla role, and she was like, she got really sad with that. I remember she started crying because she thought it meant that she was like shitty and all that. And, yeah. Mm-hmm. But now Mikoti does it a lot more. I think she whenever I've
learned
seen
about
her,
history because in original K it was Sayaka doing it, and she's one of the most respected members, I think.
Yeah.
So nothing bad there.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad, and like the fans were like, "Oh, like don't worry." But anyway, Oshirin.
I was always curious about Sayaka doing the gorilla. I remember sometime Makiko getting something to do with the banana as well. So I was wondering if there is some kind of racism towards half Filipinos, or like jungle Asians or something like that.
Yeah. Well, we don't have Kitano Ruka doing it, so we're safe here. Or else, if that was the case, they would get her because she's the darkest, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think Willie and I agree that we don't like the units for this song, for this stage.
Yeah, I mean.
Only Zanen Shoujo is exceptional.
Yeah, only Zanen Shoujo. Yeah.
I
No, the
just
rest,
like Maria.
Maria, the song is not bad, but I hate the choreography. Like the mic stands, I cannot stand these. Like what is
Me
it?
too.
Like half mic stands, it doesn't make sense. And then the moves they do with it, like putting the extremity up while they are
Yeah,
down to the ground.
I really like the song. I really like the costume, but yeah, the choreography.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I actually I'm mixed with that song. I like it and I don't like it sometimes. It depends on the day.
So
But the
it's more or
other,
less-
like even if Churi, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, it's that more or less the reason why I haven't watched so many K2 stages, because Reset itself is for me a Team K stage, and the units are so boring to me. So I have no reason to watch it.
It's pretty much the same for me. This stage is clearly the reason I kind of lost touch with Team K2, because I like the members, but yeah, I really don't want to see Reset again. And I don't like the units too. Yeah.
So even if Churi is in Heart no Doku Sanken with Ego Yuna, it's a cute song, but I don't know. I don't feel it. I want to see Churi doing a cool song like Cross. I don't want to see her doing a cute song like this, like where maybe Maria would have been a better. Well, whatever. Look, I'm crying over spoiled milk. Anyway, but the end of even if I don't like the stage that much, I have to say the end of the stage is nice. Jigsaw Puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is a really nice song. It's
Favorite
really nice
ballad
to see
of
in
the
person.
first
8. Yeah, it's a really nice ballad. And if you go there in person, it kind of made me emotional. I don't know why, but seeing it, like when you clap for the members as they leave, it's pretty, like it's something to see and experience in person. I don't know why, but when I saw Churi leave and with Bao with Now at the middle, I was like, wow, this is something. So that was something a little special I found about the stage that maybe I thought I wouldn't find.
There's some songs I really like Dokugumo and Okera after the units, or Yume no Kane during the encore, but like really cool songs.
She's on a mistake is also
tailored
nice.
for now, but the costumes are awful.
Yeah, they're so bad. Yeah.
And the costumes they're from what, 2009?
Yeah.
Not 10?
9.
Something like that. Like they cannot update them after 7-8 years.
Yeah, you can see it's really the old classic image maybe they had back at the time for the costumes from AKB.
Yeah, it was it feels very cheap.
Yeah.
A lot of the costumes feel cheap.
It was just before the group boomed, so maybe they didn't have enough money to make better costumes. But I don't know. Gekisha, who was at the same time as Theater and Omegami and Reset, had much better costumes than the two other groups. I guess it was Team A, so they had to do something for the cheap team. But these costumes, well, the first one on Reset in the beginning, or the one for Dokugumo with whatever they have on their ankles.
They're supposed to be
Even
spiders.
Yume no Kane, it's like why we took discarded clothes and.
We ripped them. Yeah. It's supposed to make them look badass. It doesn't work though.
Yeah, so I guess here we can hope that you are sus right into getting new stages.
Yeah.
I don't want a new stage for S, but
I hope
K2 I really have.
No, for K2, don't give me new stages. Go back to Lamne. Go.
Yeah, of course.
That's also fair. But I don't want a new stage for S, so
I'm moving for the next 10 years.
Exactly.
Like I said before, like for K2, there's a list original one. I think S and E did like a new stage, but K2 just did Reset with new units.
Yeah, but like I said, it's not as bad as when they went to when they were Team C and they did what's it called Theater no Megami, because that was different. It didn't have the atmosphere. This at least it feels like a K2 stage. You go there, it's a K2 stage. You have now performing excellent. Anyway, yada yada yada.
Yeah. You watch White Day Niwa, you feel like you're in front of Team K2.
Yeah, exactly. So, but even if like we the fans, I guess, prefer Lamne, doing the same stage for the members gets pretty boring because when I was 2 years ago, like just before, like I think this was 2 weeks before they had the Shonichi for Reset or for Restart, I was at a handshake with Churi and I asked her, I'm like, have like you're gonna have the new theater, have fun with it. And she told me, she's like, yeah, like I'm really looking forward to it. And like obviously, she was like, I hope you can come by. And eventually, eventually I did. But and she wrote in her blogs a lot. She's like, just like we did Laminate a lot. And I love that stage, but sometimes, we need something new because or else you kind of get bored with it and you lose motivation. Well, like you need something new to shake you up. And we can go to Laminate after, it doesn't, we can't stay with the same thing. It just sucks that, well, I don't know if it sucks, but it'd be nice if they could get original stages, of course, instead. Like, that would be the best. But, yeah.
Indeed. Okay, does anyone want maybe give a summary for Team K2 at the end? Okay, nobody?
I'm Timmy, bro.
I mean, I don't know. I think Willie and I said all we kind of had. I think, well, I want to say it's the best team. Of course, you guys will disagree. Willie won't. But I mean, historically, obviously, every team has means just as much as the other ones. I don't think we can say this team means the most to the group, but personally, this means the most to me, team-wise, and really, I hope they can kind of continue the same image they've had. They've kind of had the image, like Willie said, of doing both, of being the all-around team that can be funny, it can be cool, it can be, well, it's very serious, I guess, as a team as well. And you can see, again, I'm very biased, so this might be total bullshit what I'm saying, but I feel it's a team where the leadership, you can really feel the leadership, you can really feel where it all comes from, and you can feel it in the new members, and you can feel like a kind of lineage, right? Like it starts from one place and it kind of continues. So even if all these older members graduate, I hope we can see in the future a continuation, right, of an emphasis put on performance, right, and an emphasis put on trying to be the all-rounder type that can do everything, and that'd be nice.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay. With that, we finished up today's episode with the introduction of Team K2. Next week, we will start introducing to Team E.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's the last episode for me in Germany.
I'm also excited for that. So.
I leave, so yeah. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next week again. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See you.